Friends, this is Dr. N. Adhavan again, but this time I am going to describe you the method of finding the solution of harmonic oscillator by abstract operators method. First, let me brief you the outline of the method. If the Hamiltonian of the problem is known to have a special form like x square plus y square or x square minus y square, where x and y are dynamical variables, they may be canonically conjugate pairs, then one can write the Hamiltonian operator as a product of two canonically conjugate operators. By simple mathematical operations, one can obtain the entire spectrum of eigenvalues and all the corresponding eigenstates. Let me assume that the viewers are familiar with the Hamiltonian of the harmonic oscillator problem. So I directly write the Hamiltonian as p square by 2m plus half m omega square x square, where p square by 2m is the kinetic energy and half m omega square x square is the potential energy. As I said earlier, one can factorize the Hamiltonian operator by using the ordinary algebra as ax plus ib into p and ax minus ib into p, such that the ax plus ibp can be written as an operator a minus and its complex conjugate ax minus ibp be written as a plus operator. A and b are constants here. We assume that these two operators are easier to handle in obtaining the eigenstates and eigenvalues than the Hamiltonian operator. Precisely, we write the abstract operators a minus and a plus after substituting the values of a and b as a minus is equal to square root of m omega by 2 cross h into x plus I into square root of 1 by 2m omega cross h into p, and similarly the a plus operator as square root of m omega by 2 cross h into x minus I into square root of 1 by 2m omega cross h into p. So with the help of the commutator relation between the dynamical variables x and px, they are now operators. With the help of the commutator relation between the two operators x and p, which is equal to IH cross, so one can write the Hamiltonian as a plus a minus plus half into cross h omega. Also, with the same token, one can easily check that the commutator relation between the two operators a plus and a minus, which is equal to the unit operator, that is a plus a minus minus a minus a plus is equal to 1. One can also write it as a minus a plus is equal to a plus a minus minus 1. Therefore, the Hamiltonian operator in equation 3a can also be written as a minus a plus minus half h cross omega. If a plus a minus comes, then it has to be a plus a minus plus half h cross omega. If a minus a plus comes, then Hamiltonian operator is a minus a plus minus half h cross omega. So this is for our convenience only. Upon substituting the operators for the dynamical variables x and px, because in quantum mechanics each and every dynamical variable should be associated with a Hermitian operator. So if you substitute the Hermitian operators for x and px, we see that the two operators a minus and a plus are just real differential operators. So they take the form a minus is equal to square root of m omega by 2 cross h into x plus square root of cross h by 2m omega into d by dx. Similarly, a plus is equal to m omega by 2 cross h to the power half into x minus cross h by 2m omega to the power half into d by dx. So they are just real differential operators now. So by operating these operators on the eigenfunctions, we can generate the eigenstates. For that, we write the eigenvalue equation as h into phi of e, which is equal to e into phi of e. where E is the eigenvalue and phi of E is the corresponding eigenfunction. Let us now find what happens when the operator A plus operates on the eigenfunction phi E. Instead of doing it directly, we are going to do it with the help of the Hamiltonian. That is, by writing A plus phi E as an eigenfunction of the Hamiltonian operator, and if the Hamiltonian operator operates on this eigenfunction A plus phi E, let us going to see what is the outcome. So we get A plus A minus plus half into cross h omega. So we substitute the expression for the Hamiltonian operator from equation 3a, which is nothing but A plus A minus plus half into h cross omega. So we write the equation like this. We take the operator A plus residing outside the bracket into the bracket. We get A plus A minus A plus cross h omega plus cross h omega by 2 into A plus multiplied by phi E. Here I like to point out that the order of operation is more important in quantum mechanics. So I write A plus A minus A plus as A plus h plus cross h omega by 2 plus cross h omega by 2 into A plus into cross h omega phi E. Now I write it as A plus h plus cross h omega into phi E, because this half h cross omega and half h cross omega will give us h cross omega. As we know, this Hamiltonian operator on phi E will give us the energy eigenvalue E. So I substitute the value of E here. We get E plus cross h omega into phi E. So finally I write it as E plus cross h omega A plus phi E. Similarly, we can obtain using the A minus operator on phi E. So we get the expression given here. From the equation 6a and 6b, we note that in 6a, the A plus operator creates a new level with the eigenvalue E plus cross h omega, and the A minus operator on phi E creates a new level with the energy E minus cross h omega, or in other words, H operates on phi E plus cross h omega, which will give us E plus cross h omega into phi E plus cross h omega, and H phi E minus cross h omega is equal to E minus cross h omega phi E minus cross h omega. So these are the eigenvalue equations when the operators A plus and A minus operates on the eigenfunction phi E respectively. So from equation 6a and 6b we see that E plus cross h omega is the eigenvalue of the state A plus phi E of x, and E minus cross h omega is the eigenvalue of the state A minus phi E of x, which means A plus elevates phi E of x to a new state with the energy E plus cross h omega, and A minus lowers down phi E of x by one level of energy E minus cross h omega. Now we call the above two abstract operators as ladder operators because they have the ladder-like functioning. That is, A plus puts phi n of x one step above to phi n plus 1 of x. That is, it creates a new state which is an upper state, and A minus pulls back phi n of x down to phi n minus 1 of x. That is, it jumps down to a lower state. That is, it makes the state phi n to jump down to a lower state. Therefore, we call A plus as an operator which has the creation property and A minus the destruction property. So we call A plus a creation operator and A minus a destruction or annihilation operator. Now one can generate all the stationary states of the harmonic oscillator once a state phi E of x is known, which has the energy E, which obeys h into phi of E is equal to E into phi of E. So this is the case now. In order to find the ground state of the harmonic oscillator, let us assume that phi 0 of x is the ground state of the harmonic oscillator. Then by the property of A minus operator, that is, if A minus operator operates on an eigenfunction, then it will make the eigenstate to jump to the lower state. When phi 0 of x happens to be the ground state, that is the lowest possible state, then one can write A minus phi 0 of x is equal to 0. Now we define a new variable y, which is equal to square root of m omega by 2 cross h into x. We can write the equation 4a as a minus is equal to 1 by square root of 2 into d by dy plus y. I said it previously that a minus operator is a differential operator. So one can verify that with the expression of the equation 8. Substituting equation 8 in equation 7, we get d by dy plus y into phi 0 of y is equal to 0. After the operation, we get d phi 0 by dy is equal to minus y into phi 0. That is, d phi 0 by phi 0 is equal to minus y into dy. When we integrate it, we get d phi 0 by phi 0 integral d phi 0 by phi 0 is equal to minus integral y dy. This is a known integral. One can easily write the solution as log phi 0 of y, which is equal to minus y square by 2 plus c, where c is the integration constant. The equation 9 is in logarithmic form, so when we exponentiate it, we get the ground state as phi 0 of y is equal to n into e power minus y square by 2, where n is nothing but the normalization constant, which is equal to e power c. The value n can be found by using the normalization condition n square integral running from minus infinity to plus infinity e power minus y square dy is equal to 1. In x variable, the same equation can be written as n square integral running from minus infinity to plus infinity e power minus m omega by 2 cross h into x square dx, which is equal to 1. The value of the integral is found to be cross h pi by m omega to the power half. This can be evaluated by using the gamma functions, and therefore we write n square into cross h pi by m omega to the power half is equal to 1, or in other words, n can be written as m omega by cross h pi to the power 1/4. After substituting the value of n in the ground state eigenfunction, we get phi 0 of x, which is equal to m omega divided by cross h pi to the power 1/4 into e power minus m omega by 2 cross h into x square. One can notice that this is the same expression for the ground state obtained by the Schrodinger method. Now our turn is to find the energy eigenvalue of the ground state. Having found the energy eigenstate of the ground state, now it is our turn to find the energy eigenvalue of the ground state. For that, I write h into phi 0 of x is equal to a plus a minus plus half into cross h omega phi 0 of x. This is a known expression because for h I have substituted a plus a minus plus half into cross h omega. So expanding, we get cross h omega a plus a minus phi 0 of x plus half cross h omega into phi 0 of x. The first term on the RHS is 0 because if a minus operates on phi 0, then we will get 0. Therefore, we write the above equation as h into phi 0 of x, which is equal to half cross h omega into phi 0. Therefore, the ground state energy eigenvalue is half h cross omega, which is nothing but the same 0 point energy we obtained using the Schrodinger formulation. Our job is only half done. So, having known the energy of the ground state, next I am going to find the energy of the excited states. For that, first I try for the first excited state, that is phi 1 of x, which can be created by the creation operator A plus operated once on the ground state eigenfunction phi 0 of x. We write using equation 6a, Hamiltonian operator into A plus phi 0 of x is equal to half h cross omega plus half h cross omega A plus phi 0 of x. That is h phi 1 of x is equal to half h cross omega plus h cross omega into phi 1 of x. So we see here that A plus operates on phi 0 of x, we get phi 1 of x. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to create the second excited state using the A plus operator, which means I am going to operate the A plus operator twice on the function phi 0 of x in addition to the Hamiltonian operator. So we get on the right hand side half h cross omega plus 2 cross h omega A plus square phi 0 of x, or one can write it as half cross h omega plus 2 cross h omega into phi 2 of x, as if we operate A plus twice on phi 0 of x, we get phi 2 of x. If we generalize this result, then we get the nth excited state by this operation, by operating A plus n times on the ground state wave function phi 0 of x. Finally, we get n plus of h cross omega into phi n of x, where phi n of x is created by operating A plus n times on the ground state wave function phi 0 of x. So from the above equation, we can write the energy eigenvalue spectrum as En, which is equal to n plus half h cross omega. Equation 15b is the eigenvalue equation for the nth eigenstate, that is h into phi of n of x is equal to n plus half h cross omega phi n of x, where n plus half h cross omega is the eigenvalue for the eigenstate phi n of x. So from the equation, we can write the energy eigenvalue spectrum as En is equal to n plus half h cross omega. Now our job is rest on the finding of remaining stationary states. For that, write phi n plus 1 of x state is created by operating A plus on the eigenstate phi n of x. Now I insert a normalization constant beta n for generality. Now by normalization condition, one can write minus infinity to plus infinity integral phi n plus 1 square dx is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity complex conjugate of beta n A plus phi n of x into beta n A plus phi n of x into dx, which is equal to 1 as by the normalization condition. So from the definition of the A plus operator, which is nothing but a differential operator, we can integrate the above integral in equation 18 by the method of parts, which means integral u dv can be written as uv minus integral v du. So in that case, one can immediately write the right hand side of equation 18 as beta n square integral from minus infinity to plus infinity complex conjugate of phi n of x a minus a plus phi n of x dx is equal to 1. We use the definition of the Hamiltonian in terms of the product of the abstract operators as given in equation 3b, we write a minus a plus phi n of x is equal to Hamiltonian operator divided by cross h omega plus half into phi n of x. By using equation 15b, that is, if h operates on phi n of x, then one can get n plus half into cross h omega. So the term h by cross h omega will be n plus half now. So I write the above equation as n plus half into phi n of x, which is equal to n plus 1 into phi n of x, which means the value of the integral phi n star of x a minus a plus phi n of x dx is equal to n plus 1. So I write the right hand side as beta n square into n plus 1, which is equal to 1, from which we get beta n is equal to 1 by square root of n plus 1. Therefore, I write the equation 17 as phi n plus 1 of x is equal to 1 by square root of n plus 1 a plus phi n of x. That is, if the operator a plus operates on the eigenfunction phi n of x, then we get the new state phi n plus 1 in addition to a coefficient square root of n plus 1. Similarly, one can find the equation given below for a minus operator, which is nothing but a minus phi n of x is equal to square root of n phi n minus 1. If we put n is equal to 0 in equation 21, we get a plus phi 0 of x is equal to square root of 0, because if n is equal to 0, we have to put 0 at the place of n. So it is square root of 0 plus 1 into phi n of x, which is equal to phi n plus 1 into x, phi n plus 1 of x. After n such operations, one can get on the right hand side as square root of n factorial phi n of x. Therefore, we write a plus to the power n is equal to 1 by square root of 2 to the power n into d by dy minus y to the power of n. And with the help of equation 9a, one can write equation 22 as phi n of y, which is equal to 1 by square root of 2 to the power n, 1 by square root of 1 by 4th root of pi into square root of n factorial multiplied by d by dy minus y power n into e power minus y square by 2. Now voluntarily inserting e power minus y square by 2 into e power y square by 2, which is nothing but 1, in the above equation, for some reason we write phi n of y is equal to 1 by square root of 2 to the power 1 by 4th root of pi into square root of n factorial into e power y square by 2 multiplied by e power minus y square by 2 into e power y square by 2 multiplied by d by dy minus y to the power n into e power minus y square by 2. Immediately, one can write the above equation as phi n of y is equal to 1 by square root of 2 to the power n into 1 by 4th root of pi into root n factorial e power minus y square into the Hermite polynomials hn of y, because e power y square by 2 into d by dy minus y to the power n e power minus y square by 2 is nothing but the Rodrigues formula for generating the Hermite polynomials. So in the place of e power y square by 2 into d by dy minus y to the power n e power minus y square by 2, we write hn of y. Reverting to the x variable, one can write the final form of the nth eigenstate or any general eigenstate can be written as phi n of alpha x, which is equal to 1 by square root 2 power n into root alpha divided by 4th root of pi square root of n fact e power minus alpha square x square by 2 into hn of alpha x. Same expression for eigenfunctions which we got in the case of Schrödinger method. The above eigenfunctions are the same as the wave functions of linear harmonic oscillator obtained by using Schrödinger method. To conclude, in a nutshell, one can solve the harmonic oscillator problem by the abstract operator method by doing simple operations in addition to lucid arguments. Unlike the Schrodinger formalism, this abstract operators method is very selective, which means this method is non-general one in nature. This can only be applied to problems whose Hamiltonian operator is of certain type, as in our case, such that the eigenvalue spectrum possesses a ladder-like structure. For any comments, please feel free to contact me at n.adavan@gmail.com. I also say that more videos by me on different topics of quantum mechanics is now available on this platform. So if you are interested, then you may have a look at them. Thank you for listening and learning.